Hi, my name is Richard Naszcyniec, and I am a Senior Program Marketing Manager with Red Hat. And today I'm going to walk you through some of the differences between JBoss Enterprise Application Platform and the WebLogic server from Oracle. And I want to start off by just saying, why are we having this conversation? And frankly, a lot of people approach us in the field, and they ask us, how do you compare against Oracle's WebLogic server? They have a lot of installations already, so some people are looking at migrations, and other people are looking at acquiring the application platform for the very first time. So we want to go through and present how we compare the two products together and present that material to you. Before we get started into some of the details, let's talk about which application platform we're comparing to. And Oracle has several application servers that they offer. The first is the Glassfish server. And this is the open source product that they have. It's really a reference implementation for the Java Enterprise spec. It will perform to a certain degree, and it has some basic clustering. But if you were to ask Oracle what would be their strategic application platform, they'll point you to the WebLogic line. And within the WebLogic line, there's three different products that are available there. One is the WebLogic Standard Edition. And the standard product does not have clustering support that JBoss Enterprise Application Platform does. So we don't really compare to that. Another product is the Oracle WebLogic Suite. And the suite is actually comprised of multiple products beyond the application platform. So it really isn't an apples-to-apples comparison. There's just too many products in that particular packaging from Oracle. The third product is Oracle's Enterprise server, Enterprise Application Server. And this is what we compare to. We believe this is the best apples-to-apples comparison that's available. It provides clustering, it provides JEE6 support, and that's what we'll be comparing to today. Now, when I'm going through the presentation, I'm going to just use a generic term, WebLogic 12c. And I do mean the WebLogic Enterprise server when I'm talking about that. There's also a JBoss Enterprise Application Platform, of course, our product, which I'll refer to as JBoss EAP throughout the rest of the presentation. So with that in mind, let's go and take a look at some of the features that are similar between the products and actually do some comparisons. So starting off with JEE6. Both application servers, and remember, we are talking about WebLogic 12c also. I want to make sure we're clear on that. I'm not talking about the 11G product, the 12c product. Both of the application servers actually have JEE6 support. And this is important because there's actually 40 major technologies in there. Some things like JMS, JPA, JTA, other technologies that make up this, what's contained in the 260-plus page specification. And it's roughly about 40 major technologies there. So both of them have it. Next, beyond the JEE6 specification, what are the open standards that are supported? And there's broad support from both application platforms. In fact, here with JBoss, there's actually 30-plus different open standards that are supported. And Oracle has similar support, but it's not quite exact. So while I don't give them a red check here, I'll give them a blue check because there's some things that they are missing. And we'll talk about one of those, OpenID, a little bit later. Next, we have clustering and high availability. This is critical. You have to have this ability in order to make sure that you have a reliable environment you're deploying to that will also scale. And again, both application servers have this functionality. So far, not too much difference. Okay, so next on our list is to go and take a look at management and monitoring. When we look at management and monitoring, it's an important fact I need to talk to you about, and that's the fact that we're going to be talking about a managed JBoss EAP subscription. And a managed subscription means that you also have access to JBoss Operations Network, which is key to our management monitoring capabilities. Within the management monitoring, we're concerned with three major areas: single view, application provisioning, change management, and auditing. And we want to be able to perform all of these tasks across all the domains that we've deployed to. In the case of single view, we want to know everywhere that we've deployed JBoss EAP, the applications, the operating system, the file system, we want to know what's going on in those areas across all the domains. And that's something you can do with JBoss EAP. With Oracle and WebLogic 12c, out of the box, you're only able to look at one domain at a time, and you're not going to be able to look down to the details of, such as the file system and operating system using that. So there's an X there. And of course, this is an application platform, so you're going to be provisioning different applications and deploying them. You'll want to know about the different versions that you've deployed, and you'll have the ability to have a history of what you've deployed. And in cases where perhaps a mistake has gone into deployment, you want to be able to roll back. And again, everything that I've talked about there is available with JBoss EAP. But missing from Oracle. Now with Oracle, you will be able to look at what is deployed across a single domain at a time, but you're not going to have the rollback features that you have with JBoss EAP. Last, change management and auditing. The applications have to have configuration set to allow them to operate, things like the database connection and so forth that's configured within the application platform. Again, you want to be able to look across all of your domains. You want to be able to look at changes that have taken place, the ability to roll back those changes. You also want to be able to be aware of any drift that could be occurring, so accidental drift between the standards that you've set up to run your applications. This is all possible with JBoss EAP, and again, missing from Oracle WebLogic. Consistent development environment. As you're working with JBoss EAP, as well as our other platforms that you may look at in the future, such as BRMS, SOA, or JBoss Data Grid perhaps, you're going to find that you work with the same development tools all the time within the JBoss environment. So nice check there. Your developers learn one tool and they consistently work with that tool. Now with Oracle and the WebLogic 12c, at the time of this filming, Oracle has had WebLogic 12c out for about a year. And it still is not capable of being configured using the JDeveloper product. Now JDeveloper is Oracle's Strategic Integrated Development Environment, or IDE. And it's used pervasively throughout Oracle WebLogic 11g development, as well as the rest of their SOA and BPM technology. However, it cannot be used at this time with Oracle WebLogic 12c. So this is an inconsistent environment causing developers to have to work with multiple tools. This, frankly, just adds confusion to the mix. So there's an X there. One thing I want to go back to before I move to the next topic is another point about JEE6. Both certified to work with JEE6, both application platforms. However, with JEE6, something new was introduced in the concept of profiles. And specifically, there was a web profile released and a full profile. And the full profile basically says that you have all the capabilities of the JEE specification available to you, and they're running when you start the application server. And both application platforms have that. What JBoss EAP has and WebLogic 12c is missing is the concept of a web profile. So the web profile is designed to be a slimmed down version of the application server designed specifically just for modern web applications. So what it allows you to do when you have support of the web profile, which we do and Oracle does not, is that you're able to have a much smaller footprint, less memory, less disk space associated with the deployment of your application platform. With JBoss EAP, because we support web profile and full profile, you have the choice to deploy what you like, which makes sense for you. In the case of where you actually need to go from one to the other, that's very possible. So now let's move on and look at some of the unique features available with JBoss EAP. And what we're going to start with is let's start with an open standard. In this case, I'm going to point out that OpenID is supported right out of the box with JBoss EAP. And OpenID is an emerging standard gaining in popularity all the time. Nice to know that's available to you, and you'll get full support for that. Second, HTTP load balancing and smart HTTP load balancing. What we're offering here with JBoss EAP is the ability to configure server metrics, 7 of them in fact, that allow you to make intelligent choices on how you're going to load balance your HTTP traffic. With Oracle, what you're going to get is a round-robin capability, so it basically goes from server to server to server. You don't have the ability to pick up smart metrics. Modular class loading. Now, modular class loading is very, very important because there's time when you want to keep the size of your application server down for memory management, but perhaps more importantly is the fact that you oftentimes have to deal with the fact that some of your applications will be working with versions of libraries that conflict with each other. So you want to put a box around those. You want to be able to modularize your deployment to control and deploy what you want, where you want. Don't let the application platform dictate to you by weaknesses in its capabilities that you have to deploy perhaps an application on this server, and because it would conflict with another application, you now have to deploy the application on another application server. This is an unfortunate circumstance that will happen with Oracle WebLogic. As we were talking earlier, in regards to monitoring and management, one console for all your domains. So as an administrator, you're going to be able to log into a single pane of glass, do all of your administrative activities for all of your different deployments. Support for multiple virtualization technologies. This is growing in importance all the time. More and more people are looking to optimize their usage of their server investments. They want to get 70, 80%. They want to get very high utilization out of those servers. And the way to do that is to use virtualization technology. We at Red Hat support a variety of popular virtualization technologies, including VMware. With Oracle, what you'll find is that Oracle only certifies their software to work on the Oracle VM virtualization environment. Therefore, it's very possible that perhaps your virtualization technology of choice will not be supported. And then last, I'm not sure if this is widely known within the industry, but when you get one subscription to a JBoss enterprise product, developers get access to all of the enterprise products. So if you may start off with JBoss EAP and say, now that we have our applications running, it makes sense for us to add a business rules engine, a business rule management system to our deployment. And you can start to explore that possibility with your developers because they have access. And specifically, for every 16 cores that you subscribe to, 25 developers gain entitlements to work with the products.